these fabulations have been common on the fringes for years.
George Soros's Open Society Foundation.
But now, his name saturates nearly every corner of the GOP ecosystem. The longtime investor and philanthropist became the target of misinformation and conspiracies starting in the 1990s. Extremists in the U.S. and Europe cast him as a central figure in a secret cabal of Jews and globalists working to take over the world.
The economy has actually been humming along. Questions about whether or not it's been financed in the right way and who's going to get the benefits of it, but they haven't been running on that. They've been running on an imaginary caravan.
If the mainstream media actually began reporting facts again, they would quickly learn that the migrant caravans are not only a reality, but they are no accident. Back in July of 2018, Reuters reported on the 193 UN member nations that entered into a non-binding mass global migration pact that is set to be adopted during a conference in Morocco on December 10th through the 11th of 2018. Miroslav Lajkic, president of the UN General Assembly, told a media briefing the official global compact for safe, orderly, and regular migration addresses why people migrate, how to protect them, and how to integrate them into new countries. However, the United States, Poland, Hungary, Slovakia, Austria, and the Czech Republic have pulled out of the pact. The U.S. had previously entered into the pact under Barack Obama, regardless of the fact that the pact violates our immigration laws. The pact states that it is rooted in the UN's 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development and the Addis Ababa Action Agenda. The Addis Ababa Action Agenda was a conference held in Ethiopia in July of 2015. This agenda stated, "We will work to ensure that adequate and affordable financial services are available to migrants and their families in both home and host countries." These documents answer the question, how do a dozen Honduran migrants decide to sue the President of the United States of America and a handful of federal agencies based on the Fifth Amendment and a little-known ruling by the Supreme Court without any legal assistance? As Fox News reported, the lawsuit also claims that the plaintiff's right to Administrative Procedures Act and the Declaratory Judgment Act were being infringed upon. And this is nothing new to Soros and U.S. aid, who funneled money to aid Georgia's Rose Revolution in 2003, the Ukraine's Orange Revolution in 2004, and Kyrgyzstan's Tulip Revolution in 2005. Recently, Judicial Watch used a FOIA request to uncover how U.S. aid funds were funneled to Soros's left-wing Open Society foundations in Albania, particularly the Soros operation efforts to give the socialist government greater control of the judiciary. USAID reportedly gave $9 million in 2016 to the Justice for All campaign, which is overseen by Soros's East-West Management Institute. Also, the New York Times reported Mr. Soros has given his main group, the Open Society Foundations, $32 billion for what it calls democracy-building efforts in the United States and around the world. In addition, in the United States, Mr. Soros has personally contributed more than $75 million over the years to federal candidates and committees, according to the FEC and the IRS. A MasterCard press release boasted, MasterCard and George Soros announced plans called Humanity Ventures. The enterprise could catalyze and accelerate economic and social development for vulnerable communities around the world, especially refugees and migrants. With the creation of Humanity Ventures, Soros could invest up to $50 million to make these solutions even more scalable and sustainable. Slovenian outlet Nova 24 reported, a Croatian officer stated, the migrants we catch and return back in a few days or weeks are again trying to break into Croatia. Some of them are really poor, but many are well equipped. They have new footwear, new clothes, sophisticated smartphones, weapons, and some have also been found with MasterCard bank cards without name. They are just numbers. They withdraw money at ATMs, but we do not know who pays them. Essentially, the United Nations, the IMF, the World Bank, and yes, George Soros and his Open Society Foundation are implementing their sustainable agenda and replacement migration goals down the throats of sovereign nations by coercion, financing and aiding globalist armies of political pawns in their unyielding quest to disrupt the sovereign population with unaccountable NGOs in order to quicken the establishment of a one-world government.
Every Jew who hears the way George Soros is talked about knows the text beneath the text. We all hear it and we know what is meant. And it has resonance through history, and we feel endangered.
This is not about George Soros being Jewish. It's just like globalists. It's not some dog whistle for it's not about the Illuminati or the Jesuits or the Freemasons or the protocols of the elders of Zion. Okay, the party at Davos, this is the thing, there's no conspiracy, it's in your face. It's in your face every day.
So I think you need a new world order.
John Bowne reporting.